we take off with another Target-related announcement. And
oh, Chris, I am excited. Parents across the country let out a collective scream of joy this week. Do you know why?
I think I do, Ann.
Target released a press release announcing that customers can now order Starbucks and handle returns without ever getting out of their cars as part of Target's Curbside drive-up service.
Yes, they did. Although there's some nuance to this, which I definitely want to get into.
Yes, there is. So Target said it will begin testing the option for guests in select markets to add a Starbucks order or make a return within Target's free contactless curbside service through the Target app.
Yep.
A company spokeswoman also told CNBC that Target will begin testing the concept with employees, then with customers, in the hopes to scale these features across the country.
That is a key nuance to me. Begin testing. Yes.
Yes. There's lots of testing that will have to happen. Now, Chris, you mentioned Chad Lusk at A&M. He is going to put you on the spot right here and now.
Right off the get-go, right in the beginning. I get this right in the beginning.
With the first one. So,
oh, my God. I'm sure this is going to be super easy, too.
Yes, as always. So here at A&M, like the moms across the country, Chris, Chad says, we think that Target's announcement is exciting and hugely innovative. And
Innovative. Nice. Well said,
Thank
Ann.
you. And that I feel like it's A&M, so I have to use the most proper English.
Like an English accent?
Yes.
Which I don't, okay, go ahead.
Yes. Jonathan Sharp would be very proud.
Yes, he would.
And that we should expect to see retailers add more benefits to incent curbside pickup over home delivery fulfillment because of the inherently lower cost model.
Yes, that is a benefit.
Right now, this seems to be a game playing out among Amazon, Walmart, and Target. But how do you think that non-mass merchandisers can drive more pickup as well in the long term?
Whoa, okay, curveball. I didn't expect to go there. All right, well, I've got to, okay, there's a lot I want to say on the topic of just Target's announcement in general. Like I said, there's a lot of nuance to what I think they're putting out there. And then also in terms of what A&M's asking inherently in that question, in terms of what it means, for other retailers. Given that it's a put you on the spot question first, I'll tackle that and then I'll try to come back and circle back as quickly as I can to kind of my thoughts on Target and their announcement. In answering the A&M question, to me, my advice would be, for the listeners would be to break that down into two groups. So I would break it out in off mall and mall based.
Okay.
And for the off mall world, so that for people, to me, that's like the Ultas of the world, Home Depots, Kohl's, Burlington, etc. To me, there's no reason why they can't and shouldn't be aspiring to offer the same type of curbside pickup services, for the reasons they're saying. It's a better way to do it economically. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I would say, and Target, for all the fanfare it gets, they kind of serendipitously fell into this whole service. Because I was there at the time when this was very hotly debated. And there were
Which part?
Whether or not they should, not the current announcement, just the pickup side of things, which is the inherent part of A&M's question. Mm-hmm. Very hotly debated. And I can remember, and you know who you are if you're listening, there were quite a few people that were poo-pooing them even trying this. And there were literally knockdown, drag-out fights internally. But they did it, and then along comes a pandemic, and they look like heroes because they are 2 to 3 years out in front of the experimentation, and that matters. And what it all starts with, so getting back to the question, what it all starts with is fundamentally you have to have what I call great available to promise logic. So I'm going to use the Joey Tribbiani air quotes there because it's a very important thing. Available to promise logic in your order management systems is what allows you as a retailer to confidently be able to serve up the inventory for the customers across all these different fulfillment types. If you don't have that, you're not going anywhere. And then you also have to have the inventory accuracy, which RFID plays into and all that. So that's fundamentally where you have to start. And then, like Target, like I said, you have to spend 2 years developing the front-end processes, UX, to make this happen.
Right.
But now, back to the mall-based side of it.
Okay.
You have to do all those things, but then you're saddled within a mall.
Right.
So how do you make this experience happen? For my money, the only way you're going to do it is by doing something like Adept Mind did with Mall of America.
Like
where
collaborative effort,
yeah.
Single pickup points within the mall.
Yeah, it's the only way it's going to work for the customer, right? But my problem with that is I don't think that the mall-based retailers particularly have the leadership or the innovative thinking to do this. And my point that I would use to drive that home is like Macy's. Macy's, for all the fanfare it's been getting of late, like, why isn't Jeff Gannett out there saying, like, we are going to lead the charge on this idea for every mall in America in which we operate? I mean, there's like something like, there's a ton of Macy's stores where they could be just taking up the torch on this idea.
Seems like a better use of space than Story, toys, Wetzel's Pretzels. Like, why don't you? Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, why aren't you just like pulling together all the mall retailers, have a conference in New York at your headquarters, bring all the executives into the room and be like, we are doing this.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my long story short. I don't know if you have any thoughts you want to weigh in on that, but
I'd
love to talk to the
smart.
Target angles too.
Yeah, I think that's so smart. Like, I would never have thought of that, but that would be a great reason for people to go into Macy's. Like, if you're the central location, you're the biggest place, you have the biggest parking lots, like, for people to be able to utilize your store as kind of the hub for the mall is brilliant. And goes back to, what David Brown was saying last week of like, how do you get everything done that you need to do in the mall without leaving Macy's?
Why does Simon need to lead this? Or, whomever else, that you want to put in JLL? Like, why do they need to lead this? Why can't Macy's be the leader on this? But going back to what I want to talk about with Target, I mean, I think I'm not as gung-ho on this announcement as I think you are, and I want to see what you have to say.
Yeah.
But I think, first of all, I love the idea. The idea of being able to get my Starbucks in a curbside situation.
I posted on LinkedIn. This is like my dream come true. So I'm holding Target. I'm like, this has to happen now. You said it. You put it out into the universe, and now me and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are expecting it.
100%. And I told the Star Tribune asked me for a quote on this. I said it's freaking game changing.
Yeah.
And she dropped that quote exactly. I was like, it's so cool in its intent, but I think I'm a little bit like, okay, hold on a second here, because I think there's a little bit of taking PR credit for the idea before it's actually instituted, which honestly bothers me a little bit. I hate when companies do that.
Yeah.
Because I think making this work is pretty hard logistically. If you look at Starbucks, you've got an order. One, it's an order that can't be staged because it needs to be hot, right? And then people are really particular about what it is how they order their coffee.
Yeah.
So there's a different dynamic here than, say, the standard curbside pickup order where you're getting a frozen pizza from DiGiorno that you kind of know what that's going to look like, right? Or some other like Crest toothpaste, right? Like, you can't screw that up if you're Target. And then you get into returns, like that gets inherently complex. You start bringing back online return items as well. Like, I can remember being a store manager, like somebody brought back a mattress they brought online.
Yeah.
Imagine if somebody brings a couch to this.
Which they're definitely going to if they have to pull up the car and don't have to haul it out of the car.
100% they are. And so that's going to screw up with these processes to a large degree. And it's going to take a long time to figure this out. So while they're claiming this, I think this is going to not roll out nationally, would be my hunch, that quickly.
Yeah.
But I think there's actually a cooler pivot on this, which I want to tease that.
Okay.
Because I want to get your thoughts on it. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes. No, I totally agree. I think I think that the biggest challenge for Target to roll this out is actually going to be the staffing and handling the returns part of it. Because even with the most, forward thinking, like early adopter customers, you're still going to have an issue with some of the returns, and how long I think the staff applied to those returns it's going to take. Like, there's going to be more of a process, and that will be the biggest hurdle I think to get over. I tend to disagree with you about the Starbucks and that kind of availability. Like, both Starbucks mobile order pickup and Target's curbside pickup are best-in-class examples. They get thrown out everywhere. They do that very well. Yeah. And so I think that that's just a matter of working out the right back end, like timing. When do we fire the Starbucks order? And, people are used to ideally getting your coffee right away when you pull up, but they understand that there could be some lag time that happens within Starbucks too.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I'm not as worried about that.
Maybe it introduces more slack into the system. I hadn't thought about that.
Yes, I think that there are those logistical hurdles can definitely be overcome. Now, to quickly answer A&M's question, I think that, the biggest advantage, I guess, for non-Targets, Walmarts, Amazons is returns. Accepting returns without having to get out of the car and doing curbside returns, especially in the world of online commerce that we live in, I think that is the biggest thing that I would focus on. However you execute it.
Not anyone can duplicate Starbucks, right? Yeah, it's really the return part that's essential to
Absolutely.
this. Yeah, right.
Okay, but I want to hear what your tease is. What were you thinking?
So, coincidentally, Target also announced this week they're investing $5 billion again.
Yes.
And part of that is in store remodeling and things. Now, my hunch is that this is nowhere on their roadmap. But what I would be doing is taking a portion of that money and experimenting with creating a drive-through lane for Starbucks that is coordinated with the architecture of the store.
For sure.
to simplify this. And I would also possibly even look at a walk-up pickup window into where, to the Starbucks part of the Target.
Sounds like I've heard of that before or something.
That's the type of thing. I mean, we've talked about that for years.
Yeah, what Kroger is doing at their Cincinnati store, where you have the Starbucks pickup window right in the...
That's the type of stuff that I would want to see here.
Okay.
And I would love to see them take that step, because I think that simplifies it, and I think customers would just be just as interested in using that service. And it would simplify the operations potentially greatly. So anyway, that's my thoughts. And I don't know, closing word on this.
I think that's definitely worth experimentation. I don't know that I think they need to drive up Starbucks, and I would like it all in one if they can figure that out.
You would. I think you think this is ideally better. Yeah, which I think that's true too. But I think there's,
and maybe they can make dinner and then deliver that too.
Yeah. Right. That yes, they can.
And my dry cleaning. Just basically Target brings
a floor wax and a dessert topping in.
Exactly.